What?
Say what?
Okay, so who wants? Do we all need to talk for it?
I don't know what's going on.
Wait, just explain like what.
Just say it to her, though, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're the only ones in the room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're just literally just explaining the whole thing.
You're just going to have to answer the questions if she asks.
Oh, we didn't have to do like a presentation, like this is our
think
achievements books, we've done this.
Well, that's on that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much, we've just listed, haven't we?
Just self-expression.
Okay, so we don't need to talk much about that.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
so.
I think just talk you through it. So like,
Okay.
we should ask questions. Don't you? So.
Yeah. Alright then. I haven't actually like read through it properly.
Yeah, it definitely did say,
While you have a read, can I take your hours down for this week? Mike, oh no, you're reading, so I'll go this way. Emily.
one.
For what? Are you going to...
Oh no, you did it.
I did
You
it.
did it. She did it.
Okay.
Go to Rach.
Shall I do it?
I put it in a 2 day. No?
How many?
Me for research in an hour.
I've missed you out. Mike, Alan, Becky, Matt.
Oh. Who have you missed out? Horrible boy. Bully.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to call it conflict of bullying here as well.
Fine. Yes, this is going.
Yeah, that's...
Get annoyed yet?
No, I've been fully very annoying.
Well, you can compare that one.
What's the 45 mean?
Pardon? It's 45 minutes. There are bits when we...
I was like 45 hours. I don't know.
We're now in minutes because
Well,
it's
pounds, isn't it?
a bit easier. Sorry, Rich, you're in it now. Let me get you...
Yeah, didn't have research.
Okay, good, sorry.
Yeah, I think that after time we've been through all the chatting.
Yeah, that was about an hour.
Okay, so data collection, that's fine, that should... 45, sorry. We're going 60.
I did all the I did all the social rounds yesterday, but
Week 6, yeah.
because I
Okay,
my
so-
computer, I've got
Week
pages are not
6
working, I
in
didn't know how to do the arrows on it, so I still need to call.
Yeah,
I'm going to do it on
Normally
the
it's
computer.
week 5.
Make it look good.
But in this
Oh,
one,
okay.
So what,
I've only done one
how many
today.
hours did you do this week?
I watched like an hour yesterday.
Please don't
An hour,
say that
okay.
because he said that that's going
It's so
to
boring.
Fine. Emma, you done any work this week?
Not much.
Not much. Okay, Becky,
I can save this
2.
on what? Marketing? Jack? Alex?
Minus
2. Minus. And perfect, that's done. That's all gone up there as well.
Just wondering though, I did the research, but when I was
Sure.
looking, the executive and paternalistic I think are exactly the same.
Yeah, I saw
And when we were
that.
looking, when I was looking at them, they were saying exactly the same things, like there's no point doing it the same. So the democratic, is that okay? If it's not, I can research something else tonight, we can change it.
What's Democrat talk?
It's all upon the research on the show.
Democratics when you get a say, like the
Yes,
that's
yes,
just
yes.
Democracy.
Basically, it's just management style, but then as all other management styles, it's got its cons as
It's
well.
trusting employees, you make them make
Yeah.
decisions, it's empowering them, whereas paternalistic looks at the lower needs of the Maslow order chart and democratic looks at the higher needs, looks at self-development, looks at
yeah, I think democratic.
self-actualisation and esteem needs. Like that's something to like back it up. I looked at Maslow's and the theory X and theory Y. Like theory Y is democratic and theory X is paternalistic.
Well,
So there's theory behind them.
Can you
So
explain that in a video?
theory behind them.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that.
So stupid.
Thanks, Rach.
Yeah. We give them to each other. Send them all to each other.
That's what I was going
Because
to
I've done 3.
Right.
We would get questions.
Did you not do any
For
dotted
example,
lines?
democratic
It's quite hard because no one was really
They
wanting
have
to work.
problems with
No,
decision
no
making
one said
and
that.
time consuming,
I
so
found it
we
really
can
hard.
always back that up, say
I did it
it's
for
got
like
more benefits
10 minutes
than
with each one. And
Yeah.
and important thing. Meeting at the start of Thursday, like deciding
Nice,
which
nice.
to
Yeah.
take.
It's like
Yeah,
basic.
Yeah, I've done
Grading to Jack.
Company name, which you don't.
Yeah, I did the
But
job.
with this, like all the ones I've done so far, it's not been 8 people. We've always been missing like
Social
Alex or
media
Jack.
is
Also,
holistic,
but then we can say it's quite good to not have any negativity to say that in your final report.
Yeah.
empower, or
That's definitely not him.
even put the
Who's that?
that gives you
We have decided company name, mission, and improvement, and then we have Jack.
How did you do that? Did you do that day?
What?
Did you do that day?
I did
Or
it.
did you just from the video?
Video.
Wait, look at this one, are you? Do you want to shut up?
Me?
And
See, that's really funny because me and Rach did one.
Yeah,
where
we did
we
talk.
didn't speak once.
yeah, there's one of me. Where is it? Here.
I
I hardly talk.
Yeah.
Emily, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, please. Shut up.
So what you do?
You ready? Oh!
Actually, no, you should have done the one the other day, so I literally said that one word. I think that's my grumpy
Just
morning.
a neutral
Too early. Right, can I just ask, what, do we have a structure for this meeting?
Yeah, well, I assumed we were doing more than poster, but if you're happy about that, then we'll tick that off.
Just wait for her to.
Okay.
Because we don't know what question she's going to ask us, and we can just sort of.
And then just the next half an hour, we need to establish I think we need to get the structure sorted for the filming ends, so that we keep talking about it for ages. Let's just say we're doing this. Because I think all of us aren't very decisive.
No,
We need someone to be
true.
like, yeah, we're doing that. And wait, you said that, sorry, which paternalistic is the same, pretty much the same as executive. Yeah. So should we just do paternalistic, democratic and autocratic? There's
Yeah.
3 very different, very well-known leadership styles.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only,
Paternalistic's also got an element of autocratic in it.
But it's not.
It's not full on autocratic.
so, I thought we were doing 2.
We'll do 2 then.
Yeah, 'cause I
No,
think
it's fine if you do 3, but you didn't ask anyone to research autocratic, so that hasn't been done.
Okay, but like, everyone knows what that is, don't they? It's like very directive.
Okay, but what I'm saying is for us to write a script, we need
Okay.
research on here,
Alright.
and it hasn't been done. So it's fine if we want it, as long as somebody can do it before we have to start writing the
Are
script.
we going to have time to do 3 though? I don't think we are. With everything else that you put in there.
Okay.
So,
No, you are right. We've only got like 10 minutes.
we were going to say that we're going to do a scenario where something is demonstrated in the autocratic way, and then we're going to, or any other way, and then we're going to show the best way how managers can do it. So we have to do autocratic anyway. If you're going to say that there was a manager who was shouting, "Why did you come late?" instead of saying, "Is there any problem? How can I help you?" then that autocratic way just comes up straight away anyway. Because otherwise, how are we going to do? If you're going to have, let's say, a manager shouting to an employer, "Why did you come late?"
Yeah.
then that's autocratic way. So it comes up straight away anyway. Without, otherwise, how are we going to differentiate the management styles? No?
Yeah, no, yeah. I've just got an idea. That's all.
You've got an
Well,
idea?
then hit us with it. Say, like, with to show democratic, we'll do it through a specialised team, so a specialised area, because that's where you use it. Specialised, but then obviously the downfall of that is it's very long-winded. Decisions take a lot longer. It's going through a lot more people. So it depends, like you say, do you want to save time, or do you want to get an accurate thing? Like, you spend time, and then maybe not.
No. I like that. I don't really understand.
I didn't
Can you
understand
explain
either
more?
what you mean by specialised.
Say, working, I think in like the car industry,
Okay.
like specialising, working on like Formula 1 cars or something. You've got people specialised in like research and design, working on that.
So what
Having
would
a
we?
skill, the people that have certain skills in certain jobs.
Okay, and
It's
then
like
what would
working
we
for
do?
teams. I don't know how to show it. I think it's something I do a lot, but how to show it in
Video.
retail.
No, that's good. I like that.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very confused. I really like that. I don't understand.
What? Okay,
I think I know what you're trying to say.
Explain it.
I understand like where you want to aim it, but I don't understand what in the video. What
I know, yeah.
what's that
I
gonna
Mm.
not bring? But like, how is that?
Okay.
How could we portray it?
It's okay, think about
Right,
it.
she
and
needs to
think
start
about
another
later. Yeah.
Right, should we, do we want to do 3 or 2?
If we're doing 2, are we only going to do one scene? Like what? Showing one thing? If we do 2, then surely you can show at least 3 leadership styles.
I like Alma's point though about the autocratic, saying that obviously is a bad thing.
Yeah.
So we can-
I have found things though where it could be good for people, those who are dependent on the workers.
It's good sometimes. It's good to be good sometimes.
Yeah, it has
So you
got
can't say it's bad.
good
Yeah,
things.
And this
definitely
is
not,
better because there are actually positive ways of it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then you could say if you're going to go okay the disadvantage of autocratic. So if you're going to be like really like hard whatever, and then you say okay why don't you try this which is an advantage of paternalistic something like that. We could literally nail like 10. I'm not saying that we have to. I'm saying if you're doing it like that we could do like 6 or 7 and be like this is the disadvantage of this one. Why don't you turn it into the advantage of this one?
Yeah, when you do starting off from autocratic, then there's an element of autocratic and paternalistic. Say if this isn't working, try paternalistic, and
Yeah.
show another example. And say if not that, if you've got a specialised team, democratic.
Mm.
They move on from each other. So whether you show
I like
it
that, actually, I really like that.
link them that way,
Yeah.
and then we show a scene in each
Yeah, that's a
one
good
to
idea.
show well, this actually works because of this.
But then do you then do another scene saying exactly the same points of each one, or do you try and do because say you've got that, so you've got your autocratic to say, and then you turn it to paternalistic, specialised democratic, so done. Next scene,
it's a different one.
do you do a different scene and do the same 3?
I don't know. So I was thinking
Yeah.
you do autocratic, show a scene with autocratic, then go to like say what its good point, advantages, disadvantages are, and say, oh, another way this if autocratic's not working, none of those that holds it is paternalism, and then do a scene kind of it.
Yeah.
I think do a separate scene on that,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and then do
that's what I
advantages,
thought.
disadvantages, blank screen, advantage, disadvantage, blank words, and then another step up, and then do another scene on democratic, and then obviously
So you do
advantages,
3.
disadvantages, so it's 3 different scenes.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
Also, then after that, you can cover different points. Because
I
obviously,
like
we need
that,
to have cultural difference. We need to.
Yeah.
We can't make sure. We've got to make sure we don't just have motivation.
Yeah.
We need to have other
Oh
things.
yeah.
Yeah, because
But for example, like Rachel put here on the paternalistic for the advantages, more two-way communication, increased motivation and social needs met, like stuff like that. So it doesn't have to just be motivation. We can do the advantage of each of them.
Yeah.
So probably now we need to. If we've got that idea, we've got to decide what we're going to focus on in each little sketch. Like what.
Okay, so the basic structure, this is what we've written down. We do like the question from the start, then an explanation of what we are, and then we go into say scene 1, an autocratic scene, explain pros and cons, blah blah blah. Then scene 2, we do the democratic pros and cons, and scene 3, yeah? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it blankly now? And then we go to say something about the ending, and that should be 10 minutes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Was it autocratic,
I thought-
paternalistic, then democratic?
Well,
Yeah.
we can change the order, that's not important.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Is it?
I thought we were trying to merge them and do one scene with all 3.
I know I
We
just
were,
did
but that's what
different
Rachel
things.
says we're doing different.
Oh right. Okay.
I think I would use a difference in each, because otherwise you
But then-
can't show all the points.
But then how are you going to like, for example, you know what we're talking about, the freeze frame of say somebody in the car looking happy to go to work, somebody in the car looking sad to go to work.
Don't know how that would work into that.
Okay. So then, okay.
Are we going to put at the end what we're progressing our pod?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Like
Yeah,
we're going
yeah.
to expand and
Yeah.
we can talk.
Like
a bit
training,
more.
training.
Yeah.
Which is what we've written.
Because I like that we do with freeze frames. How do we show it?
Exactly, because we can't then compare them and then talk over. Because I thought it was going to be like a freeze frame, 2 different things, talk over it and say this is somebody this is somebody this, and then the next page like advantages of this,
Yeah.
this, disadvantages, which we can still put into there, but it just means that we need to like chop up these scenes a bit and merge them
Well,
together.
why don't we have that, and then we can have a scene where it's like actually being done. So you could start with freeze frames
Yeah.
and give the main points, and then be like, in this scenario, you can see that this work is working here with an actual situation, rather than just this is what this does and this is what this does.
I know, we could do like, say next week, we could just film like loads of scenes. Say,
The thing is, we have to script that though, so we can't just do loads and loads.
oh, we don't have, does it have to be scripted?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
You've got to show certain
What
points.
script afterwards?
yeah, like from what we said. Say we do
Look, I
conflict.
honestly think that we're the type of people that if we improvise, we're going to get somewhere a lot quicker than if we're
Yeah.
going to write a script and
Yeah.
somebody has to be standing there. Like,
Yeah,
if I said
agree.
to you, like, act like this, you did it, and then I just typed out the script of what you said, you're not
Yeah.
going to know the difference.
Say like we're dealing with conflict and we do the same scene for the 3 different styles. We could just do that, and then we can edit. We can pick which ones we put in.
Yeah, we were saying, literally, sit down for an hour, do loads and loads of filming, upload it all, and just chop and...
Rather too much than not enough.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, you might as well have an idea of what we're going to do instead of just, going
What's
with
the
things.
setting going to be? Where are we going to do it?
Because we're
Somewhere like this room.
I would choose, someone this is perfect. Like, you clear it out if we need to, like, move some of the things. Like, that's very professional, like office space, like, you've got a big house,
Yeah.
so group room.
Or if we need a bigger room, we could do it then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we could request group room 1 if we booked in advance.
Yeah, I mean, all the big... All the big
Right, sorry.
Because one bigger.
No,
if we need a big space, 'cause it's group work anyway, so they don't mind if we talk. So we could always do that.
The only downside of that is if you get people walking in.
Yeah. Means you stop filming, let them go, start again, because we can chop
That's
and
good. That'll happen
together.
constantly. Yeah. I think. It'll just be
This
easier
room
to
should be
get, just get a
fine.
room.
This is fine. This is
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Let's
We can just move one of the tables away
Yeah.
and just leave
let's
it.
think of scenarios how we can use them.
I really had an idea, but I don't know how to work it out in the leadership styles or management styles. I had an idea, you know, when you are recruiting people, and then you have to have the line manager because this person knows what exactly the job is, and then you have to have the store manager or department manager,
Part of the
and then you have
recruitment
the HR manager, and then let's say you sat there, 3 of us, and then we're discussing, we're doing the shortlisting. So we have gone through all the CVs or application forms, and we decided, okay, this 6 of them or 3 of them are the best ones which can fit for this role. And then we say, but from these 3 or 4 people, we only have to choose one of them. And then let's say you got someone who's, I don't know whether this person is autocratic, or I don't know in what kind of management style this person would fall. But then you have someone saying, well, I'd prefer to get this person because this person is has got this and this and that, and then is an English person which would fit very well in our company because it's going to be the first point of our, let's say this person is going to work in customer service, and then you say this person is going to be our first contact for the business, so it's important that this person speaks English.
Yeah.
And then another scene where someone else is like more open, kind of democratic style, and says, look, yes, I understand this, but then just because this other person is not, his first language is not English, it has got these other skills which would benefit our company, and then we explain what it will benefit on. Like, it might have just like a different skill or a different qualification or something which would benefit better.
I like that.
So
What were you going to say?
I was that really good, like you could show through the decision process, you've got autocratic, the main person would be like, don't care what you guys will say, I want this person. From that.
Yeah,
Or paternalistic could be there's slight conversations, like direction, but overall that one person, the manager, will still take everyone's views and opinions and still make the decision. Or you've got democratic where the discussion is completely open and you come to a view, majority vote.
I was going to say something similar, but I was going to go with, I like the idea, we could also do like, if somebody was saying hiring a manager, so if you're implementing a manager into your company and you go, right, how would you run this? And they go, well, I would do this, this and this, then we could have, say, like, autocratic come up, and then the next slide be like disadvantages, advantages.
I like that.
But this way I was thinking we look at the diversity as well. it covers some points of the diversity.
But isn't,
Yeah,
your,
cultural.
but isn't your point going along the recruitment angle?
Mm.
That's the only thing I'm worried about.
It's a management decision though.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Because there
matter
is
what-
one of recruitment. That's why we don't want to, you know,
But
touch on
it's-
those too much. I think.
I can see where you're coming from, but won't they look at it as if you're saying have this style person, this style person, that is going down the recruitment angle.
But it just
Mm.
shows
That's the
HR,
only-
but it shows HR departments which one is the best way to recruit people. Perhaps this is not our aim, but we are training managers how to recruit people, and then we can have another scene training managers how to motivate staff or how to resolve conflict.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
can have like
we did say
one
at the
scene
beginning,
like these.
ours would overlap a lot of the others because
Yeah,
managers.
managers would. Sorry.
No, go on.
Yeah,
No,
managers
so-
would do a conflict, they'll do motivation, they'll do recruiting. Managers do everything.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Cool.
but
The only thing, if we do that, say you want to be careful, it's not just recruitment. We can show another example
Yeah.
which isn't recruitment. So we do one on it's like that, one on another, and one on another. So we're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
we're not focusing on one point.
Yeah.
It's broader.
Yeah, because not all managers recruit, do they? So
No, sometimes it's
Yeah.
higher up.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that works. We do a bit of both, and then we can say at the end, you know, these skills can be used in those other sectors in the business. But no, I think that's a really good idea. Should we choose them there? What should we do then? What we
Yeah, we
autocratic, democratic, paternalistic?
That's what we really down here. All about how to deal with misbehaving staff.
Did you find out?
That'd be a good scene.
Misbehaving
I
staff.
don't need to
Say,
use the excuse that thing.
how do you deal with someone who's stolen some clothes from you?
put it on Facebook.
Mm.
You sit down and chat to them or shout at them.
Yeah, that's true. That might be quite a good one. What we do?
Say that again. What did you
I'd say something like misbehaving staff.
Misbehaving
So
staff,
for
that's-
example, someone who works for you, they've stolen clothes from the, so we do retail, aren't we?
Should we get a piece of paper and just get the... You're writing down the possibilities, right? Just have the possibilities of what...
So,
the possibilities of the things we can have.
You've got the recruitment idea.
press 1 and then he'll have a text from Will saying we'll try to call him.
Is it him you're trying to call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just press 1 and then he'll receive a message say that this person tried to call you.
How do you do that?
Yeah, I know.
It's an option.
Some people do it so then you don't get
What
voicemail
time?
because some
Okay.
people spend money listening to voicemails. And this way they don't, it doesn't cost them anything. But I think we will have to talk to him because he might have and just listen to.
Are we going to
his
be
excuses.
autocratic or paternalistic?
No, I want to be democratic. I know it's going to take some time, but then he took us a lot of time in the first meeting anyway.
I think, Mike,
Yeah.
personally you need to do something.
Alright, well if he's not in class today, then I'll talk to, what's her name?
Sheila.
Sheila.
Yeah.
So he could have emailed her something.
He updated his status in Headington like today. No, Brooks Brothers claims Oxford tomorrow. Oh, is he talking about Friday night? So yesterday.
Yeah, it was
She was in uni yesterday.
They just
Oh well, but we'll sort it out after the meeting. When we go, you can speak to Sheila about it. He might turn up and then we'll find out. That's
It's best to talk to him first before we give him a
Yeah, me too. I think this is the best way.
What about the customers really complain about the number of staff are being rude?
let's do more
It
scenarios.
doesn't matter. I'm gonna write about it because I'm not very happy that he's not turning
The
up.
anger level's high.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, I'm not going to write. I'm going to write about it.
let's do these scenarios. Let's carry on with these scenarios, and then we can then do what we did with all the names and stuff. Get 10 down, and then we can just choose them.
Okay, sweet.
Do it. Go.
So what we got so far, and then we'll crack on from there.
You've got the recruitment idea.
And then yours and
staff,
saving.
say if you did, how do you do it with staff stealing or maybe late for
Bullying.
work? Bullying. You had this written down.
Conflict.
Say if say if you are working in John Lewis and customers made a complaint to you about their staff, how would you deal with that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Would you shout at them or sit down and chat through with them?
Conflict could be quite a good one because there could be that cultural conflict.
You could have somebody asking to change hours for like family circumstances.
Yeah, because care and consideration.
Yeah, care and consideration, that kind of line.
Right, that's 5 already.
It's young, isn't it? I kind of need to.
What is it? Job.
If we did the conflict thing, then yeah, we could somehow emphasise the multicultural area.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good one.
That'd be really easy to put in.
Marcus has got herpes before I got it.
Who's got that?
You'd be the one.
Is it yours?
Yeah.
Oh, pick the ass up.
Did you hear mine about care and consideration? Somebody trying to change their hours
Yeah, I've
and
got changing hours. Yeah.
family circumstances and stuff like that.
Sorry, turn it down.
What else? Anything else?
Motivation.
Yeah, I think that's good.
What have people seen there?
Teamwork, like if your team's breaking down.
Team bonding day.
Yeah, team bonding. Yeah.
You
Or
can't say that.
deadline missed or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Isn't that sort of the same as late for work?
Yeah.
Happiness in the workplace. Try and increase people's
That's
Morale.
motivation.
Morale,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think happiness,
employee
morale.
satisfaction. And then put that arrow and put then customer satisfaction, so we know to then talk about how employee satisfaction would then do.
And I assume we're going to be, all of these are going to be set in kind of this sort of room.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
We wouldn't need to do like a narrated before these scenes, would we? We've got any this what's happening.
so
We wouldn't be like,
Well, you
this
can-
person's just turned up late for work.
we can do.
The thing is, what we can do, remember, is that voiceover thing on the Mac. So don't worry too much if we don't get somebody on film going this person, because
Just
if it
put it
doesn't
over
make it
voiceover.
I think
clear,
it would be better as a voiceover.
Yeah, definitely. So this person's just been late for
Yeah.
work.
we
See
can
how
have
this guy's.
we can have a blank slide, maybe a couple of words on it, and then the voice just explaining.
I think we've already got quite a lot here then.
Yeah.
If we
Okay,
do-
so we then let's choose then.
Well, I think we should do
If we're
the
all happy.
misbehaving stuff because you can put quite a lot in it.
And I definitely think that employee satisfaction should be one.
Yeah, because that comes out a
I
lot.
think, I think conflict should be one as well.
So say for example, one of your employees,
That's 3 there.
they're a bit down, they're not happy with their job, how would you deal with that? Is that
Yeah.
something you-
That's good.
Would you
Yeah.
try and work out what the problem was, or you'd be like, no, you can't do your job, you're out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so if we now got 3.
Got-
more than 3.
No, but
We got
we
loads.
no,
Which ones we can get
misbehaving
most
staff,
out of?
employee
like-
satisfaction,
And I said
then
conflict,
Okay.
So if we're happy with that. Yeah. So what we
That's 3 scenes you can do right there.
We've actually made a decision,
But it's not looking at
Take-
so long
take
for
like
the
2
change on
weeks.
you.
Okay, right.
So
Yeah.
we'll-
Let's roll with them. If we have
conflict, what else?
Misbehaving staff, conflict, and we can do about multicultural, the
You
conflict,
have the
and
idea of
employees.
misbehaving stuff.
I just thought of that.
So what are you going to do then?
So like, say if one of your staff been caught stealing, or not quite that bad, but say they're becoming late for the work for the last 3 days, that's not good behaviour
But that, I think that's overlapping slightly.
with what employee satisfaction.
I don't think
It's
misbehaving
linked.
staff. I think maybe misbehaving staff, you need to concentrate more on people like messing around in the workplace, rather because otherwise you're going on to like sympathy and empathy. If they're turning up for late for work,
Yeah,
it's not really
care
misbehaving.
consideration that is.
Yeah.
And behaving misbehaving, you saying how just misbehaving, like being silly around
Yeah.
work, you say lack of professionalism.
Yeah, definitely.
What were the other two? Sorry?
Nobody's
Conflict.
typing this.
What were we saying? Conflict?
Why is this?
Okay,
I don't know, like, I was going
20
to
minutes.
we could emphasise like the multicultural sort of thing with conflict. Maybe. I don't want to make it like racist though.
Yeah, I know, that's the hard thing.
You don't want to like.
Or maybe just talk about conflict and then just resolve it, and then we could maybe do a voiceover saying there might be, there's going to be different conflicts depending on different culture.
Why not? Okay,
That's what I was
this
gonna say.
maybe is a bit weird. Like we could tone this down a bit. Say for example, like in the workplace, you're having like lunch or something. No, that doesn't work.
Turn lunch.
Yeah, and you can relate it to food.
Yeah, like and no meat and meat.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to put. I don't think that's gonna work. No.
It's a good idea.
Because this is for. Not sure. Yeah, we can either just do a conflict, do a normal conflict, and then just say, look, there will be different conflicts that have to be dealt with different ways during, depending on the different culture or where it is or whatever.
I have
Possibly.
paternalism. It originates from like Asian and Middle East and Latin America, and it's only recently that Western countries are actually adapting it to it.
Okay.
Shall I say that again?
Oh, paternalism was majorly from Asia, Middle Eastern and Latin American cultures. And only Western countries are now accepting it and using it. So you could say we're all coming together saying a lot of studies have come from Asia about it. And it's just research into all different ones. It's all very multicultural. You can also use an example from the Japanese employee that they say about Japanese employers find paternalism rated really high there because it gives job satisfaction.
Yeah.
So in that case, when you're talking about employee satisfaction, you could give this guy all Asian and whatever his name is says how Japanese employers.
Yeah.
Would that incorporate the multicultural?
Yeah.
We couldn't show
Well, 'cause
that,
then you can-
could we? 'Cause we don't really
You'd write it over. Cause
Yeah, I've always saying,
could we do this on that page where we said different countries?
Yeah.
And could we show different researches and reports coming from different countries?
Yeah, you just say just put a couple of bullet points and say autocratic, so Middle East, this, Iceland for example, this, anything like that.
There's just so many reports on it.
Yeah, to show that it's used in different countries and it can be a multicultural way of leading.
Yeah, that would work.
Definitely.
I think that's we want to. Is
You've really got that sort of multicultural, it's literally
democratic and have a look
that.
at that, and then you have to do autocratic as well.
Just get it in somehow. Got to.
So employee satisfaction leading to customer satisfaction. What was the third one?
Employee satisfaction, you've got conflict.
What example would we use for conflict?
You could have disagreeing on ideas. You could have someone wanting to take time off at a certain time for a certain reason, but another person is that they can't both.
Maybe people get mixed up between whose job's which and it doesn't get done. And then you get
people blaming each other.
Yeah, that might be a better one.
What else? What else is there?
You could have conflict in the sense that certain people want to get higher up, so you could have.
Could it be sort of like personal conflict?
Emotional?
Very
Like, you've been sleeping with my wife or something, and then that's they hate each other at work or something.
That's probably less common and.
That's going to be quite hard to resolve.
That might take time.
That would be really hard to resolve.
No, yeah.
There's a conflict that
It can be mentioned. It can be mentioned.
really not that extreme, but personally.
Just don't get on well.
Personal conflict almost being religion.
But that kind of verges on the thing. I don't want to make it like racist though. Like I don't like you, you're a Muslim or something like that. You can't really say that. It's tough being religious.
No one will say that.
Don't know, that's on camera now.
What about when people get acknowledged for doing their job?
Rewarded.
Yeah, you get those certificates sometimes, don't you?
Accommodation.
You get a gold star.
I think promotion would be quite a good one.
Yeah, I think promotion would be quite good.
Well, someone gets promoted, then the other guys
and
and
I
girls
should be
like
promoted for that.
jealous. Jealousy.
Jealousy is a bitch.
Excuse me. But yeah, I think that'd be good. I just saw on camera.
No, I didn't.
Becky Wilson just saying. Sorry. I think that'd be a good one. So we're doing the same. We're making a list on the scenarios, and we just got to pick one basically.
Hang your head in shame.
And now we've got so now we've got like the 3 scenarios. For each one, if we do the sort of the 3 possible styles, that will give us say 9 scenes, and then we can cut and change what we want to put in.
Yeah.
Would that be a good idea?
Yeah, we need to make some money.
On fire today, guys.
So are we going to? When are we going to start filming?
So we start filming this week.
This week.
So we've got 2 weeks. If we have 2 weeks to do this, let's try it in 2 weeks.
We do the presentation 2 weeks today.
Yeah. No, the written work has to be in on the 20th, 22nd when the video's in, so
1st of
2
March.
weeks today is when the video's got to be in, and 2 weeks
50
before
on.
that, on the Wednesday it's going to be
Week 9, so 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
No, we're in 6
No,
now.
I know, but that's the
Oh, yeah.
presentation.
I was
22nd.
thinking,
21 days.
can I talk to you about it?
About what? You haven't.
3 weeks.
About
three weeks.
We've got 3
For the
weeks.
about
presentation.
the
So we're
changing.
on the 1st
Yeah,
of
on
March.
Monday we've got
Changing
2
from-
weeks.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
What coming up?
Oh, is
Yeah,
it?
changing with so that.
Sorry.
No,
Emily's
it's not been
doing
14.
technical
18.
3 weeks.
and
On Monday it'll be like
directing
18 days.
It's the 1st of March
and
today.
take her.
I've got a week.
What
are your jobs?
Another week, another week.
Me, director.
We're directing and editing.
Cut, action.
That was it. Because I was meant to be
What?
editing. So I was like, I would switch with M. So I would do editing and switch with M, so then she can do technical, because directing and technical into me.
Yeah.
Then I would